kickoff, folks. Kickoff tonight was presented by Fugate Enterprises, proud owners of your local Pizza Huts and Taco Bell. Fugate Enterprises is a longtime supporter of the Wichita community with a deep ties to both Bishop Carroll and Cape Mount Palmer. We thank Fugate Enterprises for their continued commitment to our schools, our students, and our community. Let's get ready for that kickoff. Ball's run up the middle. And that is Solinger, first play touchdown for the Crusaders. Big way to start this game, 6-0.
Yeah, everything going right there for the Crusaders to start off with. Nothing that seemed impossible for the Crusaders right there. Just able to do everything they could. And ends up in a touchdown at the end.
Absolutely right, Sully. And that is a wonderful way to start this Holy War, just getting out early and getting those points up on the board. And the extra point is up, and it is good, bringing the score 7-0.
Yeah, this Kapaun team already looking off to a great start. Fumble recovery on the kickoff, and it's kind of what we expected, Robbie. Kapaun is a great team in 4A this year, the only undefeated team left in 4A, in fact. And if you're Kapaun right now, you like what you're seeing out, just getting that fumble right off the rip there.
Absolutely. And Eli Costner off for the kickoff here. Done a great job at putting those balls in the back of the end zone. And the kick is up, and it'll be fielded around the 10-yard line, and it'll be handed off. A little trickery here up the middle, trying to find some, brought down immediately by Hamilton, and that'll set up Carroll around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, great job to identify that trickery by Carroll there, not letting that get a hold of them. A great job by the Kapaun special teams.
Absolutely right. As Kerrigan, one back to his right. A little bit confused on that play. Let's see what they do here. As Kerrigan takes a snap, looking out to his right, fires quickly, and it's going to be dropped. We'll bring up a 2nd and long.
Looks like it got out of his hands right there. Robbie just threw it a little over and wasn't able to get the ball in the receiver's hands right there.
That was Goertz on the reception there. And Kerrigan will try to take it out to the left, but it'll be taken down immediately by Collins. Great tackle by Collins to bring up a 3rd and long with a negative play on that drive.
Yep, Mason Collins has been a great player this year, Robbie, for this Kapaun defense, and he's really just been able to get off the ball and wreak havoc on nearly every O-line he has played. So nothing surprising from Mason Collins right there.
Corrigan takes a snap, holding the ball, no pressure, fires it in the middle of the field. And it'll be incomplete with Hamilton on the coverage there against Harrison King. Great coverage by Hamilton there to get that ball down and bring out a 4th and long.
Yeah, Hamilton, great job in the coverage right there. Guy who kind of struggled against Northwest, but he's shown a lot of improvement over these past 2 weeks where we diagnosed what was wrong in that Northwest game, and he's come back right there, you see, nice locked, and he locked up the receiver right there, so that was a great job by Hamilton.
Absolutely, as Porter will field the ball around the 44-yard line, and this will bring out this Kapaun offense. And so really, we've seen this Kapaun offense kind of adopt a new identity this year. They've been throwing the ball a lot more.
Yeah, I was able to talk to Cole Rapp this week, and he really just said that a lot of this offensive success come from his large, tall receivers, and his offensive line has been giving him enough time, which makes his job really easy.
Absolutely. As Huff finds a hole up to the middle and takes the ball up for 10 yards. That'll be good enough for a first down. That is a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, a proud sponsor of Kapaun High School athletics. As Rapp hands the ball off to Solinger up the middle, and Solinger goes for a couple yards there on that play for about a gain of 2.
Yeah, and this Kapaun offensive line has really been a key piece to this offense and their success this year, I think, Robbie.
Absolutely. As Huff tries to find a hole, but is brought down by a wall of Carroll defenders, and that'll set up a 3rd and about 6 here to go. As this Kapaun offense a little confused on what they want to do here. And there we show Cole Rapp, who's really come into the spotlight this year as the junior quarterback, as he's under center. Pitches the ball out wide to Huff. Huff trying to find some space, but is brought down. And it'll be about 4 yards short of the first.
Yeah, not able to get what they wanted there. They wanted a more open field, obviously, on the right side. Not able to get a good job by the Carroll defense to really just read what they were doing on that option play right there. And
Rapp with Huff to his left. Rapp rolling out to his left, trying to find someone, fires, and it's caught by Rocco Keller. And he's about a yard or 2 short of the touchdown. Risky play, but it pays out for the Crusaders.
Definitely played out right there, Robbie. Rocco Keller, 6'4", 220 pounds, and they use him right there where he should be used to. Just throw the ball up to him. He's one of the most athletic receivers on this team, and that just showed it right there.
Absolutely. As Rapp hands the ball off to Huff, up the middle, trying to find some space, and he'll be marked about a yard short. And with that play by Keller, that is a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kapaun High School athletics. As Rapp hurries up, quarterback sneak, and one official is saying touchdown, and so is the other one. Kapaun touchdown. Cole Rapp on the quarterback sneak there.
Yeah, QB sneak, big controversy in football today, but Kapaun played it to perfect standards right there. So great job at Kapaun, utilizing, almost glitching the game.
Absolutely, and the extra point is good, bringing this 14-0 Kapaun. And we'd just like to take a moment, thank our sponsors of Kapaun Journalism, Ernat's Arts and Bronze, Grasshopper Mowers, MTXE Kansas, Frankenberry, Johnson, and Long. Thank you so much for the sponsoring and all that you do for us. This would not be possible without you guys, so thank you so much for sponsoring KMC Journalism. And Solly, really on that drive, we saw the diversity of this Kapaun offense really being able to go out to pass or the run game.
Yeah, Coach Schartz was like really dialed in right there. Ran the ball 3 times and then decided why not throw it up to Rocco Keller on that pass play, because Coach Schartz has just been able to prepare this team so well. And if you didn't know, Coach Schartz doesn't have a state title yet, but this team is looking like a state title contender right now, Robbie.
Absolutely. This ball will be fielded, and they'll go for some more trickery here as Carroll trying to punch the ball out to the right side of the field, but he's brought down around the 25-yard line. And bringing out this Carroll offense, John Corrigan is now the starting quarterback for Carroll. And unfortunately, they had an injury to their QB1, and that's never something you want to see, but Carroll's been able to bounce back and really start a fire with John Corrigan as quarterback.
Yeah, it's always tough when you lose your QB, Robbie, but you have to be able to bounce back and find other ways to run your offense.
Absolutely. As the ball is taken up the middle for Carroll, and it goes for about 3 yards on the run there.
Yeah, this Carroll offense is going to have to find a way to get past this really tough this really tough Kapaun defensive line with, just a lot of dynamic guys you can play on the outside and inside, and it's just special what this defense and Coach Burr has put together on this defense.
Absolutely. As Corrigan takes a snap, rolling out to his left. Excuse me, there's some misconception on that play. It was a run up the middle there for a first down. It is a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kapaun High School Athletics. And that was Acosta on the run there. Big guy, 6'2", 190, able to pound the ball up the middle there for a first down.
And that's what, if you're Carroll, that's what you need to do. You need to be able to run the ball, but you're going to have to do more than that because you want to be able to actually not tire out your players as much.
Absolutely. As Corrigan's pass to the right side is caught, and for good enough for 10 yards, and a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kapaun High School Athletics. And on that play, we were really able to see the option plays that Carroll has in their disposal.
Yeah, Carroll's using a lot of trickery, especially we've seen it on kickoff a lot, but been using a lot of trickery on this offense.
And Corrigan, rolling out to his right, throws the ball wide open, and he will be called down short of the line to gain. Bring up a second and short on the play there. Great job by Vrain on the play there to get open like that, and a little bit of an underthrown ball there.
Yeah, he doesn't underthrow that ball. It's probably a touchdown, but great play call by the coach there. It really just caught Kapaun off guard. Kapaun going to be able to needs to be able to find an answer for this trickery. You need to keep your eyes on the ball.
Absolutely. As Corrigan's hands the ball off up the middle, and the ball may have popped out at the end there. And again, the ball off the ground. The refs are signaling Carroll retain possession. Bring up a third and short here.
Yeah, early on, this Carroll team's really struggled with possession of the ball. It's ball security, something you teach all the time. They need to clean that up if they want to succeed.
Absolutely. As penalty flag flies, and Kapaun is signaling a false start. We'll see what it is. And Kapaun's defense is right, and that'll back them up 5 yards, bring up a 3rd and 8. And so I was able to talk a little with Coach Schartz about this game, and I asked him, what does it mean to come back to Riverfront? He just said, such a memorable night two years ago, being them at such a special venue. It was just awesome to see all the seniors getting that final win against Carroll. It was just such an amazing sight.
Yeah, it was. For reference, my mom was still at school last time Kapaun had beat Carroll, so obviously it was going to be a huge thing.
Corrigan's pass is dropped. Coverage there by Jude Porter, intended for wide receiver Acosta.
Yeah, great coverage there. Basically, he did everything he could on the defensive side and was able to just lock him up. No room for that ball to land in the receiver's hands there. So just great job by Mr. Jude Porter there.
Absolutely. And the punt is up. A bit of a squibbed kick there, and that'll roll out around the 28-yard line. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott. Every day is a great day at the Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott, Wichita downtown. And Kapaun offense will come back out. Cole Rapp under center. I formation. Rapp takes a snap. Hands the ball off to Huff. Huff trying to find a hole. Huff finds a hole. And he's brought down for a gain of about 10 yards on that play. Good enough for a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kapaun High School Athletics.
Yeah, it looks like Kapaun bringing Cal Purvis. Big Cal. They want to run the ball with Cal here.
As Purvis does get the handoff and rumbling for about 4 yards on the play there.
Yeah, I had the chance to talk to Cal this week, and I asked him what aspects of his game has improved since coming from Carroll. He really just said his speed and overall strength and his leadership, which is a main factor in his game, has improved.
Absolutely. Cal being one of the most important parts of both offenses and defense of Kapaun. And that transfer has been really great for Kapaun in these past 2 years. As Solinger's carry for about 3 yards. Purvis gets the ball here, jukes the defender, and finally brought down, but not before getting a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics.
Yeah, I also had the chance to ask him, Cal, what's like to actually be on the other side of this gigantic rivalry. He just said it's awesome to be able to see both sides of the rivalry, but honestly, he wouldn't change anything. He'd choose Kapaun a million times if he could. It's been huge for him.
Absolutely great words by Purvis there. As Pondai's jet sweep is brought down for a gain of 3 on the play there. And kind of going back to that rivalry you were talking about, I was able to ask Coach Schartz the same thing, and he really answered it amazing. He said, it's such an amazing thing to see one Catholic school versus another, East versus West. The tension is very high, especially after that win 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're completely right. Catholic schools have such a great turnout in student sections and fans. Everyone loves coming to these games. School spirit is crazy, and that's why these are such big rivals, because they have these are the 2 biggest school spirits in student sections in Wichita, and that when 2 of those go against each other, it just creates like a positive and negative attraction, right? They just go away from each other.
Absolutely. Huff tries to find a hole, but he's brought down, but not before gaining about 5 yards on the carry there. And really solely we've been able to see both Huff and Solinger get 50-50 carries, which is really great in a high-powered, very fast offense.
Yeah, when you have a high-powered offense really leaning on run, you need to have multiple running backs to take a load off of your starter. So we've seen Cal Purvis, Ken Huff, Wyatt Solinger all run it, because Coach Schartz knows that they're going to run the ball a lot and that they need to all be fresh.
Absolutely. As Steven on the tackle there for Carroll, bring up a 3rd and short. Rapp under center, I formation, takes a snap, hands off to Huff. Huff trying to find a hole, and it's brought down, and refs are signaling first down. Schaefer Architecture first down with that, and Schaefer Architecture, a proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics. And Rapp looking, firing to his wide receiver Pondai. Pondai makes the grab. What an adjustment by Pondai there. And that brings Kapaun all the way to the 1 yard line.
Yeah, Axel is just great at one-on-one coverage. It's such a mismatch, and it's just like, I don't know if you've ever played Madden, Robbie, but it's just like you just throw the ball up to him and spam an aggressive catch, because he can just catch it every single time.
Absolutely. As Solinger fights his way in, and no signal yet.
And touchdown, Kapaun Crusaders. Soldier's second of the night already, bringing this score 20-0.
Yeah, Kapaun is just firing on all cylinders right now. We've seen the pass game and the run game. And Kapaun's just been able to run it down Carroll every single time and utilize the multiple running back formations that they have. So great job by Coach Schartz and great job by Coach Burr for this defense and preparing Kapaun so well.
Absolutely. As the extra point is good, making the score 21-0. And Sully, in my meeting with Schartz, I was able to ask him the question, how have you guys prepared your players just mentally in this game? He gave me an amazing response, just keeping this game like any other game. Taking all the hype out of this game, just focusing on the small details. Really just trying to go 1-0 every week. And utilizing the same defense and offense as last year for Carroll, they're able to understand and really prepare for this game.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Robbie, because I was talking to some of the players earlier this week, and they were talking about, hey, this is a normal game for us because, next week, Kapaun plays one of the top teams in the state in St. James, so you can't just go into a game, have all your focus on that game because it's always going to be a next week. And Kapaun just is, and next week is really going to be a key factor in this Kapaun season and see what they're really made about, because the Kansas City St. James, the Kansas City Conference that St. James is in is no joke at all.
Absolutely right. St. James, one of the highest powered teams in the state, be a tough matchup next week and a true testament to Kapaun's team. As Corrigan, and looks like a timeout on the field. And Kapaun will take their first time out of the half. And Sully, just kind of walk us through what's going on so far in this game and what you've seen so far.
I've seen just Coach Schartz calling great plays and locked in on every single aspect, the run game, pass game, offense as a whole, defense, and special teams. You saw special teams get out to a great start early in the game with a fumble recovery, and then 3 plays later, Kapaun scores on 3 runs. So this team has just been able to show why they're the best team in 4A and why they're one of the top-ranked teams in Kansas. I just question those rankers who are not rating Kapaun in the top 10, because Kapaun is one of the best teams in the state.
Mm-hmm. As the run up the middle, go about for 3 yards. Absolutely right, Sully, as Kapaun is also one of those state contenders, as we said earlier in this broadcast. And like you said earlier as well, St. James will be a tough team to go against. And if they win against St. James, that'll be a big boost of confidence and really put them into, okay, can we get over this hump? Can we win state this year?
Of course.
As Corrigan with the back to his right, and looks like Carroll will take a timeout now. Excuse me, end of the first quarter there. And Sully, kind of want to go back to your what you call it when you compare someone to something. Metaphor, we'll say, of Axel Pondai to Madden. New nickname for Axel, X Factor, Double Me. You really can't stop him unless you have 3 people on him at all times.
Oh, that's 100% true. Axel is just really just showing that he's one of the best receivers on this team. And, Cole Rapp's already, I don't think Cole Rapp gets enough credit, because that play right there, you had to throw it perfectly. But, Axel was able to also get a little bit of separation. So it just shows that these 2 guys have been practicing all week and really just able to
do everything in their power to score and perfect their game.
Absolutely right. Corrigan, man in motion. Jet sweep out to his right to Acosta. Acosta trying to find some room. But is brought down by Cal Purvis. Only a gain of 1 yard on the play there. Bring up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, that was a big tackle by Cal. And like I said, Coach Burr, like I said earlier, Coach Burr has just been really great in this defense this year. Really stepped up it from last year.
Absolutely. As Corrigan taking time to understand the play. Back out to his left. Hands the ball off to Herman. Herman up the middle trying to find some room. And he does. Just enough for a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics. And Herman, a big guy, 6'2", 205. Hard to bring down on that play.
Yeah, whenever you have 6-foot-plus guy, or honestly, if you just have a big guy, you don't need to be tall. We all know that running backs are usually under 6 foot nowadays in the NFL, but always tough to tackle anybody no matter what.
Corrigan's pass is a bit off. Corrigan's pass is a bit off, and that'll be incomplete, bringing up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, little overthrow there by Corrigan. Missed a lot of opportunities, Robbie. You know, we've seen Corrigan miss on the trick play earlier when they were going the other way. You see Corrigan miss one of the receivers that would have been an easy touchdown. And right there, it looked like he had a lot of space to work with too, a lot of separation. So if you're Corrigan, you need to be able to find your receivers and be able to locate them better.
Absolutely. That handoff will go for about 3 yards, bring up 3rd and 6 by Vrain. And Sully down in this position of the field, you would think you want to go for a pass play.
Yeah, this Carroll offense staying a little conservative because of just the great secondary that this Kapaun defense has and has shown during this game.
As Corrigan rolls out to his left but finds no room, bring up a 4th and 6. And Sully, if you're Carroll, what do you do in this position? Down 21-0.
You have to throw it. This defensive line for Kapaun has just been phenomenal. And you know, I'd argue the best part of this Kapaun defense is the linebacker group with their 4-4 attack most of the time. So you're gonna have to do something out and throw it here.
Absolutely. As Corrigan fires bullet, it's caught by Acosta. Acosta's brought down by Young, but it'll be enough for a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kapaun High School Athletics. Great play call by Carroll there.
Yeah, they saw that Kapaun was playing a little soft coverage because of the past plays, and really just great call and great throw by Corrigan there, being able to identify the loose coverage.
Absolutely. As Corrigan hands off up the middle, and Herman's run will go for nothing there on that play. Bring up a 2nd and 10. And so we give a lot of praise to this linebacker room, but this defensive line has been able to kind of hold up in those run plays.
Yeah, I agree. And the linebacker room is what gets looked at, but this defensive line, just as a whole, is great. And probably, you know, one of the most underrated parts of this Kapaun team.
Absolutely. As Acosta gets the ball rolling out to his right, tries to hurdle a man, and he's brought down, but not after gaining 6 yards on the play, bringing up about a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it's like I was talking about earlier, Robbie. I think this Kapaun defensive line just is not like a star player. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of substitutions on this D-line, and that's why it's so fresh all the time, and they're able to perform so well. And it's a great job by Coach Burr, really knowing his players. Something my favorite team, the Las Vegas Raiders, have no idea what they're doing. They just suck. So
It's Corrigan. Has time in the pocket, dances around, tries to find some space to his right, jukes him in, and he's brought down. And he'll be marked just short of the first, bring up a 4th and 2. And Tarantino on the tackle there. And this Carroll offense has to stay out on the field, and they do.
yeah, I need to get something going here, and you need to do something creative because this Kapaun defense is just on point today.
Absolutely. As Rain will get the ball, and he throws it, and it's caught for a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kapaun High School Athletics.
Yeah, great job by Coach Trail there, and being able to use the Wildcat formation, something you don't see often, obviously, but Coach Trail his playbook is just super creative, and that's what we like to see.
As the bubble screen to Acosta. Acosta going up the left side of the field brings them with a 1st and goal. Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of of Kansas High School Athletics. Acosta being utilized all over the field tonight, Sully.
Yeah, really five-tool player, it looks like right now, like you say in baseball. But Kapaun defense, I think he's playing a little bit of soft coverage right now. I think that we're seeing Carroll really beat them in that short pass, quick fire game. So we just need to tighten up on that.
Absolutely. As Herman's run will go nowhere, as he's met by Poggi on the stop. And that'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, if you're Carroll, you just need to get in the end zone on this drive. It's the most important thing if you're Carroll. And I think that they're showing signs of adjustments this drive, I would say.
As
offense flowing right, but a lot better.
Corrigan's handoff to Herman up the middle for a Carroll touchdown. Bringing the score 6-21. Good run by Herman up the middle there. Physical run on that play.
Yeah. Carroll was just able to really switch up their offense right there. With a little short release, short pass game paired with that run game. Kind of caught Kapaun off guard there. But great job by great job by Carroll there.
And flag on the play. Let's see what it is. Murphy's kick was good. A little bit of conversation from the refs here. And flag on Kapaun will bring Carroll a little bit closer. We'll see if they elect to go for the 2-point conversion here. And it looks like they won't. It looks like Carroll's kicking unit will stay out on the field.
Yeah, you don't want to lose any points here if you're Carroll after a big momentum drive right there. That got the Carroll student section fired up right there.
As the extra point is good, we'd like to thank KMC journalism sponsors, Aeronets, Arts and Bronze, Grasshopper Mowers, MTXE Kansas, and Frank Berry, Johnson, and Long. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for sponsoring us. Thank you for allowing us to do this. And big thanks from our team down here. And Sully, on that drive, kind of go through what that Kapaun defense kind of allowed on that drive.
Yeah, Kapaun was playing soft coverage. I think Carroll was able to realize that Kapaun was not respecting the pass game after those pass drives of Carroll's. And they were really just able to do that quick pass game, which then paired with the run was really detrimental to that Kapaun defense, and they were just able to get chunk plays over chunk plays.
Absolutely. As the kick is up, and it'll be fielded by Porter on the goal line. It's Porter trying to find some room, has some blockers, but is brought down around the 20-yard line. Risky play there by Porter to bring it out from the goal line.
Yeah, he's a fast guy, though, so he knows what he's capable of, but still risky there with minimal gain, with Kapaun starting on the 20-yard line on this one. So
Absolutely. His Rapp hands the ball off to middle to Solinger, and it'll go for about a yard. Not much on that play there.
yeah, this Kapaun offense just needs to keep doing what they've been doing the whole game. Nothing, no sign from Carroll's defense of any answer to this Kapaun offense. So Coach Sharks just knows what he's doing.
As Huff's run up the middle is brought down hard, but it's enough for a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics. Huff really being able to find that hole up the middle there and able to juke one defender, but brought down for about a gain of 8 on that play. As Rapp hands the ball off to Huff again. Huff trying to bounce out to the outside, but is brought down.
Yeah, as you know, Ken Huff, obviously the main running back here, and he'll get the bulk of these carries, as you know. But he's just been great. We saw his breakout season last year that started up, but he's just been continuing his dominance this year.
Absolutely. As Rapp hands the ball off to Solinger. Solinger goes for about 2 yards, bring up 3rd and 7. And student section's getting into a bit of a chanting fight here. Always a great thing to see from these two hometown rivalries.
Yeah, if you're Kapaun here, see what you can do. Preferably pass that ball here.
As Rapp rolling out to his left, holds the ball, tucks down, tries to make a man miss, and he does. And he runs far enough, about 10 yards on the play, for a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics.
Yeah, great job by Cole Rapp identifying. It was a pass play. He identified, got a little bit of penetration from the D line of Carroll, and he was able to see a running lane open and took it and didn't look back. Great job by Cole Rapp.
As Rapp hands the ball off to Solinger up the middle. And that run will go for about 3 yards on the play there. Excuse me, that was Huff on the run. And we got Cal Purvis back in the game. Like we talked about earlier, those rotations of backs is very important for this team. As Rapp takes the ball, hands it off to Purvis. Purvis up the middle, hurdles, and is brought down only for about a gain of 1.
Yeah, like you said, Robbie, the rotation is very important for this Kapaun offense, and we'll see what they do here on 3rd down with kind of minimal gains in the pass. I think they're going to try to run it here.
Absolutely right. It's Purvis once again up the middle. Will be stopped about a yard short of a first. Excuse me. They'll mark him just enough for the first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics. Great run by Purvis there to get that first.
Yep, great job. Just tiring out this Carroll defensive line here.
And once again, Solinger with the carry on there. And especially in these types of rivalry games, you want to wear the opponents out as the game goes on.
Yeah, you're right. And rivalry games, record doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see teams all the time in rivalry games just play much better than they are. So can't take anything for granted here.
Absolutely. As with that run by Solinger, will bring up a 3rd and long. We'll see if Sharks wants to reach into his bag of tricks here.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here with Looks like they're bringing out some more wide receivers, but kind of confused on why Pondai's not out there because he's
X Factor. As Kapaun comes out and split backs. Rapp takes a snap, rolling out to his left, tries to find his man, fires it, and it's close to the ground, and it's incomplete for Rocco Keller. Keller on the intended target there, and that'll bring up a 4th and long, keeping this Kapaun offense out on the field.
Yeah, just a missed opportunity by Kapaun there. And missed opportunity there by Kapaun offense as they bring out the punt unit. As looks like Max Worrell is going to come out to punt here, the left tackle. And it's a great punt as he puts Carroll on their own 3-yard line. Great punt by Max Worrell there. As this Kapaun defense comes back on the field, and they're just really trying to, I think, get the ball to go back.
Sully, sorry to interrupt everybody, but this is Mr. Hebert here to jump in. Robbie's gone down for senior night with Millie. My question to you, as it looks like there's timeout called, my question to you, how important is it for Carroll to score on this possession? I know there's only 1:07, but how important is it for them to score just for their mindset going into halftime?
Yeah, it's very important because obviously it'd make it a one-score game in a game that at first we thought would be almost like a blowout, but if Carroll scores here, it's just going to be a one-score game. So it's very important. It's going to be tough, though. They're all the way back at the 3-yard line, and there's going to have to be a lot of passing here to get down the field.
Oh, yeah, not a lot of time. This game started off so quickly. There's a bunch of scores right away. Kapaun looked like they could do whatever they want. Looks like Carroll's made some adjustments defensively already. That's 2 stops in a row, right? Like we had a turnover on downs, and then we punted. So that's 2 stops in a row for this Carroll defense to see if the offense can put anything together here.
Yeah, as the run by Rain there for just a couple of yards. You're totally right, Mr. Hebert. Just Kapaun's offense hasn't been clicking these past few drives, as in contrast to the first quarter, they were really just rolling on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of goes back to maybe a little bit of some situational calls, but
well, I think that what can also be said is, in a game like, oh, that's a false start. In a game like this, like, there's so much hype, there's so much excitement, you're ready to get out there. All these kids have been looking forward to this for a couple weeks now, and they finally get to go play, and then they use up all that adrenaline. There's kind of a drop-off, right? There's kind of a crash, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we're experiencing that crash right now. I don't know.
Yeah, they started out, you're right, they started off super hot, and, maybe they thought they were doing too well, and, that maybe there's a little bit of cockiness, but this Kapaun team is just, I don't think we're going to see a difference this game, as the run up the middle for nothing right there by Carroll, and doesn't look like they were too aggressive right there, as it's the end of the...
Kind of looks like we're playing for halftime here.
Yeah. Coach Trail for Carroll didn't want to be too aggressive there and just take what they have. I think the momentum a little bit on Carroll's side after stopping Kapaun and improving.
Yep. I'll let Sully run you out to halftime. We'll be back after the halftime. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everybody. We are back for the second half of Kapaun versus Carroll football, and it has been a great game so far with Kapaun going out to a big lead early in the first quarter, but the offense slowed down for Kapaun a lot, and at the end, Carroll was gaining a lot of momentum with a big touchdown, which gave Carroll the boost of momentum going into this second half, and we'll see how they can respond with Kapaun getting the ball first here.
Halftime adjustments have been made. The coaches have talked. And now we'll give it back to Robbie Richardson. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Mr. Hebert, for holding down the fort there. Appreciate that. And I'm back, folks. Jude Porter able to bring the ball out to around the 20-yard line for Kapaun there. And Rapp under center, I formation. As Rapp takes a snap, pitches it out to the left. Huff trying to find some room, and the ball is out. And Huff, lucky the ball spun out of bounds there. Could have been detrimental to this Kapaun team.
Yeah, looks like he gets wrapped around there, and the defensive player for Carroll just makes a perfect tackle attempt, tackling him straight from his arm in the ball. So lucky that one bounced out of bounds there.
Absolutely great play by Carroll there. As Rapp hands the ball off again up the middle, and that'll go for about a yard on that play, bringing up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, we'll see what Coach Sharts has here in the bag. Like to hope it's a pass play. Seems like Kapaun on these last few drives that they've had, especially at the end of that second quarter there, has just been running the ball on first and second, and getting themselves into a big hole on 3rd down.
Absolutely is. Once again, Huff takes the ball and he's stopped for nothing. And that'll bring up a 4th and short. And with a 14-point lead, you imagine Kapaun's punt team stays out or goes out on the field. But it looks like their offense is going to stay out there.
Yeah, I think Coach Sharks is trying to make a statement on this first play. We'll see what they do here.
As Rapp's quarterback push, looks like he may have gotten stopped. And he did. That'll be a turnover on downs. Carroll's ball on Kapaun's 35-yard line. Big gamble there by Coach Sharts on that play.
Yeah, it really was a big gamble, and it's kind of a little bit of a questionable one because see when you're on your own field and you ran it the past 3 plays and then expect the pass here, and it's a run, and Carroll's defense just all over it. So good job to Carroll defense, but I think that if you're on the offense for Kapaun, something you need to fix there.
Absolutely. Is Corrigan looking deep for his running back on a wheel, and it looks like he came down with the ball for a second, but he bobbled it, and that'll be an incomplete pass. Big drop there by Vrain.
Yeah, Vrain's just been on all sides of the ball, or all areas of the field on this offensive side of Carroll. So looks like if he would have held on to that, looks like he would have had the catch. A great effort, just really, really hard catch to come down for anybody really there.
Corrigan takes the ball up the middle, trying to find some room, and he did for a second until he's brought down. Looks to be about by Pord, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 7 on the play.
Yeah, and if you're Carroll here, you just got the ball, but you stopped Kapaun, big stop. You need to capitalize on this drive. Down 2 scores, and the momentum's on your side. You really need to get something going here if you're Carroll. And you want something big. You want a touchdown, right? You want to make this a 1-score game in a game that, in the first quarter, you were thinking it was about to be 50-0.
Absolutely. As Corrigan has pressure in his face, screen pass dumps off to Vrain, and he goes nowhere on that play. Bring up a 4th and 5, and Carroll electing to keep their offense back on the field. Bring down by Pete Keller on that play. Great job at getting Vrain down on the turf fast.
Yep, great job by Cape and defense being able to read that screenplay. That little bit of trickery by Carroll that has kind of ceased as we've seen the game go on, but still a great job.
Absolutely. It's Corrigan. No backs. Costa in motion. Fakes the handoff. Gives it off to Acosta. I'm not really quite sure if that play they were intending. I don't know if they thought that was really going to work, but Cape been able to bring the end around jet pass.
Yeah, it looks like it was a reverse jet pass there. Tried to trick, and when you do that, you take the defender's eyes off of the whole right side, or you put the defender's eyes on that right side and then send all your linemen down. But few Cape and defenders were paying attention to the ball there and able to really just pick out that play.
Absolutely.
And great job by them.
As Rapp rolling out to his right, fires deep, wide open, it's caught. It's a gain of about 25 yards in that play. It was Ethan Burr on the catch. That's good enough for a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, a proud sponsor of Kapaun High School Athletics. Kansas High School Athletics. And Kapaun is running hurry up as Rapp takes a snap, hands it off up the middle. I believe that is Solinger on the carry, and that'll be a gain of about 7 on the play.
Yeah, no one was looking at Burr right there. He just was wide open, and great play by Coach Hartz there to call that one, and a little bit of an underthrow by Cole Rapp, but able to deliver on that for a huge gain. Kind of sucked the life out of sucked the momentum out of this Carroll student section.
Absolutely. Huff takes the ball up the middle, and he goes nowhere. He's brought down for a negative play. Now bring up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I think Carroll's made some great adjustments at halftime, Robbie. They've been able to, obviously you've seen they've just been stopping Capaun's run game. And you see Axel Ponde, number 14 on the right here, 1 by 1. It's basically free play, yeah.
And Cole Rapp's looking his way, X Factor. And the ball was overthrown about 2 yards out of bounds there. Great play call by Sharts, but Rapp not able to execute on that throw.
Yeah, it's a hard throw to make there as the separation was more at the end of the play there. He was guarding him close at the beginning of that play, and then he was able to really separate at the end. But great job by Axel Hondo there. As it looks like it's a flag. Like a little bit of encroachment on the defense here.
Penalty flag flies. And it'll be on Carroll, giving Kapaun a first down, moving those chains. That's a big sigh of relief for Kapaun. As Rapp under center, I formation. Hands the ball off to Solinger up the middle. Solinger bouncing his way up. That was Pete Keller on the carry there. Someone who doesn't primarily get handoffs up the middle.
Yeah, Keller here, mainly a linebacker for this Kapaun team, getting some reps here.
And big Cal Purvis going up the middle for a gain of 1 on the play. And back to Pete Keller, just like we were saying early in that first half. Just that rotation of backs in this offense is so special. Be able to keep fresh bodies out in the field and keep that energy high for this Kapaun offense.
Yeah, you're right. And but Sharks really trying to stick to the run game here.
As Rapp hands the ball off, and that'll go for her about 2 yards on the play there. Bring up 3rd and 6.
And it looks like they'll bring in a tight end and a receiver. Stick with the same other people, so see what they do here.
And Rapp, high formation once again. Rapp, fake handoff, rolling out to his right, met by defender. Wide open is Rocco Keller. And Keller spun him down, not before he gets a first down. This is a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics.
Yeah, great job by Rocco Keller there, and by Cole Rapp for finding him in the flat. I think a little underrated part of this pass game that Kapaun could utilize a little more, Robbie. Just that flat offense, a quick pass offense.
Absolutely. As Solinger gets the carry up the middle, bounces off a couple people, and that is a Crusader touchdown. Ken Huff, excuse me, that was Huff on the run there, bouncing off multiple Carroll defenders for a good run up the middle.
Yeah, everything just goes according to plan here, and great blocks by the offensive line, but great job by Ken Huff being able to stay on his feet there, getting knocked around a little, and just great job by Kapaun.
And the extra point is good, bringing the score KMC 28, Carroll 7. I'd like to take a minute to thank our KMC journalism sponsors, Renat's Arts and Bronze, Grasshopper Mowers, MTXE Kansas, and Frank Berry Johnson and Long. Thank you so much for supporting us in all that we do. We thank you so much from our broadcasting team. And solely on that drive, Kapaun, on that very first drive of the half, saw a little bit of shaky play there, not converting a fourth down. But on that drive, we saw average Kapaun, just getting those yards on the ground and just having that one passing play that Ethan Burr really set the tide.
Yeah, I think Kapaun, I think the key thing that they need to focus on is really just being able to mix in that passing game, even when you feel like you're ahead, in terms of like being able to mix in that passing game when you're already up 2 scores, because if you keep doing the run game there, it really if you're Carroll, it's really easy to see and diagnose. And as we've seen, the run game closer to now hasn't been as productive as it was earlier in the first quarter, in first half especially. So great job by Coach Shards being able to mix it up a little on that last drive, and the pass game, big improvement from last year for this Kapaun defense or offense.
Absolutely. As Costner's kick sailed out of bounds, bringing this Carroll offense to the 35. Corrigan, Acosta in motion, hands the ball off up the middle to his running back. Excuse me, that was Herman on the carry there up the middle for a gain of about 3 yards in the play. Herman, such a versatile running back, is being used everywhere on the field tonight.
Yeah, Carroll has a lot of two-way players on their team, and some very versatile players in Aiden Acosta. And I think that versatile offense just kind of pairs perfectly with that very creative playbook that we saw, Robbie.
Absolutely. As Herman once again trying to find a gap, is brought, trying to fight, and the whistle blows, and that run will only go for about a yard on the play there. And 3rd and medium here, you got to get that first if you're Carroll. You have to get down that field and score on this drive.
Yeah, I think no matter what, this is 4-down territory for Carroll, and just you need to get this first here. That's all I would say, or get it at least on 4th down.
Absolutely. As immense pressure brought by Ben Doran. Oh my goodness. Right down the face of Corrigan. It was a deep incompletion there. Great coverage by Jude Porter.
Yeah, kind of didn't even need to cover him right there because I think Corrigan was unable to deliver a good pass because of the pressure brought by the D-line, and Carroll's going to punt it here.
As Zayden White's punt is up, and Porter will let that bounce. And Kapaun will field it around the 23-yard line. I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors here at Riverfront Stadium. Every day is a great day at Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott, Wichita downtown. Located in the Waterwalk District at Kellogg and Maine, they're centrally located. Enjoy a complimentary hot buffet breakfast with each stay and let us be your home away from home. Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott, Wichita downtown. Wichita's hidden gem. Come stay with us. It's Cole Rapp. Takes a snap. And he's looking deep downfield for X Factor. And he's a little bit off on the connection there as Pondai was able to just use his burst of speed to get separation.
Yeah, it was a great play design by Coach Sharts there. Pondai I think if Rapp would have waited just a little bit to throw that ball, then I think Axel Pondai would have been there. But great play called, and either way by Coach Sharts, and that play. Hopefully, we see that play again. I think that will definitely be a big success in this offense.
Absolutely. As Soldier's run will go for a first down. As Rapp hands the ball off to Huff. Huff trying to find some room. He's brought down for a minimal gain of about a yard. And back to that play by that passing play. It was a good thing to see as a Kapaun fan, just getting those passing plays out there. Sharts experimenting a little bit, using Pondai a little bit more. It's kind of what you want to see more as a fan, a little bit more of an exciting game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, that run offense, Coach Sharts is just known for his run offense, and he's been able to play both sides. There's a pass and just a great throw by Cole Rapp there.
Absolutely. Great catch by Keller there, sliding out of bounds. And that is a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics. Great play there by Rapp to roll out and find his target in Keller.
Yeah, and Keller is really underrated wide receiver on this team. You can find him really anywhere on the field. Short passing game and medium passing game, and obviously, deep threat because of his size.
As handoff, Soldier pushing, fighting, and that'll be a well-fought yard and a half on that play. And that was Trail on the tackle there. And Kapaun trying to think of what to do next. You're on their own 50-yard line. As Rapp under center, hands the ball off. Huff trying to find some space, but is tripped up. Minimal gain of about 2 yards in the play there. And Kapaun on these inside runs are really just trying to fight for yardage here.
Yeah, Kapaun is just trying to run that clock down, right? And we'll see what they do here.
As Rapp holding on to the ball, gets the ball out. Sketchy pass. It is broken up. Multiple defenders on the receiver Gosh there.
As early contact there that he got away with, but good defense by Carroll either way. And yeah, it was really scary play right there. Cole Rapp trying to keep that play alive, but it could have been very dangerous as thankfully it was still a good intended pass. It was still on target, so good job.
As Whirl's kick will bounce out to around the 9-yard line. giving this Carroll offense horrible field position. Great punt by Keller there. Excuse me, Worrell. And so if you're this Carroll offense, what do you do here? You're being shut down right now in this third quarter.
Yeah, if I'm Carroll, I think you need to go back to that short pass offense that they've been running so effectively. And I think that, you can mix the run game a little bit. You have to prioritize pass here.
Absolutely. As the handoff up the middle from Vrain. Vrain is brought down, but not after getting a good gain of about 5 on the play. Vrain is splitting a lot of snaps with running back Cooper Herman, as both are a great dynamic duo in elusive and power backs.
Yeah, this Carroll team has a lot of different weapons that they can choose from on offense, and they do it in every single way possible you can think of. So, just good job, head coach there.
As Corrigan takes a snap, hands it off up the middle to his man Herman, and Herman fights for a first down, but he'll be a little bit short. Bring up a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, this is an important drive for Carroll, because you saw last drive Carroll wasn't able to convert on 3rd down, and they sent out the punt unit. And you'd be thinking if they did that, if they didn't convert here, they'd just be doing the same exact thing. So it's really important.
Here comes a little trickery as Vrain takes the direct snap, but he's brought down just about a yard short. But there are penalty flags on the field. Let's see what this is. And it'll be an illegal formation on the Golden Eagles, backing them up even further to about a 3rd and 7. That is not what you want to see if you're trying to advance this ball down the field.
Yeah, that's a huge penalty right there if you're Carroll, and you got to do something here if you are the Golden Eagles.
As Corrigan takes a snap, plenty of time in the pocket, now pressure looking deep, and that was defended perfectly by Hamilton. Great pass breakup by Hamilton on that play.
Yeah, that was just a great play by Hamilton there, able to just recognize the pass play, and he had his eyes on the ball the entire time, and timed that deflection and pass breakup, or timed the pass breakup just perfectly, and forcing Carroll to punt here, which is huge as the 3rd quarter is closing here.
As Zane White's punt will sail, and Porter says don't touch it, so the ball will roll all the way to the 35-yard line. 40 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. KMC 28, Bishop Carroll 7. And there was a flag on that punt there, folks, and that'll bring this Kapaun offense even closer to their own end zone, putting them around Carroll's 45-yard line. Sloppy play by this Carroll special team unit. As Rapp in shotgun, looking out to his right, fast pass to Pondai, X Factor, trying to juke man, but he's brought down for about a gain of 5 yards on the play there.
Yeah, great call by Coach Sharks there with the little screen, and they got all the receivers and all the DBs block on that play, but only able to gain 5 there as number 21 was able to read what they were doing there. So good job by the defense there, not making that a explosive play like it could have been.
Absolutely. And with that play, they'll bring this 3rd quarter to a close. And right now, Solly, this Carroll team looks like they're in trouble. Down 28-7 they need to get this ball back in their hands, and they need to score fast.
Yeah, and we've seen this time and time again, and Carroll's just been starting bad in terms of field position. They've been, really behind the 20-yard line. A lot of this, they've been behind their own 20-yard line on a lot of these drives, and that's just huge. You can't start with a bad field position because it just kills your whole. It kills a lot of your momentum, right? And it also kills a lot of your playbook because you can't do your full offense if you're backed up that far because of just situational game moments. So Carroll's going to have to do something here.
Absolutely. As Rapp takes the snap, and he's brought down immediately. Good pressure there by Frank. And that'll be a loss of 5 on the play there. Bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, they just really were able to identify everything there, and he just brought Rapp down immediately. So great job by the D-line there.
As Kapaun comes out, I formation. Rapp under center. Rapp takes the snap. Looking out to his right, looking for his man in Rocco Keller, I believe, as that pass was nowhere near to completion.
Yeah, I think Keller there was just wrapped up kind of on the play. Good defense there by Carroll, and just not able to get the separation he wanted on that play. As Carroll gets a much-needed stop.
Absolutely. Whirl on for the punt. Gets it off. Good pressure by Carroll. As that ball will bounce in favor of Kapaun. That'll roll to the 1-yard line. Great punt by Max Whirl to put Carroll down in their own territory.
Another big punt there, and just another terrible spot for this Carroll offense to start, because like I was saying earlier, Carroll has just been behind the 20-yard line, and they're literally on their 1-yard line right now. And they're going to have to drop something special here, because this is a tough position to be in.
Absolutely. As Corrigan gets the snap, hands it off up the middle, just trying to get out of their own end zone. And looks like Vrain barely got out of the end zone. They'll be marked at their 1-yard line.
Yeah, got that forward progress, which put him at the 1, but not much for. Actually, he probably went backwards. He probably did go backwards. Yeah, they did go backwards. By a few inches. So this is just a terrible position if you're Carroll, and you need to do something creative here.
Oregon looks out, and that pass goes nowhere, not even close to his intended target of Acosta. And back to that run play. Great stop by Cal Purvis, a big guy being able to stop that run. And looks like that ball was tipped by that defensive line. So great job on them for not allowing that completion.
Yep. Great job by Kapaun's defensive line. It's this 3rd down and 10. You got to get something going here as
Corrigan looks deep, hucks that ball, and that is a completion to Acosta. What a throw by Corrigan. Young just getting burnt on that route there. Not something we normally see out of Young.
Yeah, not at all. And Owen Young has been one of the top cornerbacks in Wichita. Really shined against Northwest and not allowing Griffin Baker, the star wide receiver of Northwest, to get as much yardage. And it's a play you don't see often from Owen there.
So Corrigan takes a snap up the middle, trying to find a hole, and he does for about 3 yards. And on that play by Acosta, that was a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics. As if you're Carroll, you're trying to compete in this game. You need to get in that hurry-up offense. We're draining too much clock here.
Yeah, if you're Carroll, you can't be huddling anymore. You need to do your quick offense. You're under 10 minutes. Run plays are, if you want to run a run play, you got to know that it's going to burn a lot of clock as they're running it there.
It goes nowhere. Great stop by Collins, throwing the running back Vrain on the play down. And you're absolutely right, Sully. If you're Carroll, running plays are out of the question right now.
Yeah, it's just not too much hurry up in this Carroll offense, as you know, if you're Carroll, you just got to hurry up because you're under 10 minutes and you're down 3 scores, so you just can't.
Oh, Corrigan trying to hand the ball off. The ball comes out, but Acosta jumps back on the ball. That could have been the worst play of the night. Just bad miscommunication between Corrigan and Acosta on that play.
As Carroll's looks like they're hurrying up a little bit more, not too much more. As this is a big play, as looks like they're punting it, Robbie.
And Porter will return the punt, and Porter makes a man miss, but he's brought down around the 40. And Solly, if I'm Carroll, I'm going to play this game like it's Madden. I'm going for it every time on 4th down 21 points. I'm not sure why they wanted to go ahead and punt that ball away.
Yeah, and I'm as confused as you are, Robbie. I thought that there'd be a lot more aggressiveness, as you just saw earlier, that big pass play to Acosta, and Kapaun's gonna, do what they do best, the run game here.
As Huff is hit early, only a gain of about 4 yards in the play, bringing up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, like I was saying, Kapaun's going to do what they do best, but I think that the coach did that because, he might be confident in this run defense right now, but, still a questionable decision no matter how much faith you have in your defense right now.
As Huff, again, up the middle for nothing, just trying to bleed the clock, and it'll gain about a yard on that play. And really tonight, Sully, I think the story for Kapaun is just dominance on the ground and being able to have that run game established so early on in the game.
Yeah, you're completely right. And, special teams early was a big problem for Carroll and big bright side for Kapaun. And, they've just been able to run the ball mainly in the first half, like we saw, and kind of let the second half just kind of go steady pace a little bit, not put as much strain on your players. You've got a big game next week against St. James of Lenexa, which is going to be, I can make the argument, the hardest game, honestly, you play this year, because St. James beat the defending 5A champions or 4A champions in Bishop Miege by 4 scores. It was a 24-0 game as the world punts it here, but like I was saying, it's just going to be a huge game next week. Really see what this Kapaun team is made of and see what they can put their name on in terms of these rankings.
Absolutely right. And with that 4 and out from Kapaun, that drained about 2.5 minutes on the clock, giving Carroll only 6 minutes, 17 seconds left to try and score 3 times.
Yeah, that punt really detrimental to this clock management. But we'll see what the coach obviously had a lot of faith in this run defense.
Absolutely. As Corrigan pitches it, and he's brought down. Big hit there by Young. Excuse me, that was Nye on the play.
Gage Nye, it's an athlete right there. That's my guy. Shout out Gage Nye.
Very athletic guy. Pretty dependable in the secondary this year.
Yeah. Ball hasn't gone towards his way too much.
Corrigan looking out, trying to go deep, trying to adjust for a one-hand grab, but perfect protection by Porter there, not allowing the completion on that play. Bringing up a 3rd and 9. And
looks like this Carroll student section is just faded.
Absolutely right. Carroll student section right now is almost empty. Only seniors remains, it looks like.
Yeah, or a lot of people sitting. Not what you want to see if you're Carroll.
And with that throw, Acosta's thrown down by Young. There's that spark that we've seen in him all year. His aggressive play style has been really great against these big receivers, and Acosta's limping off the field.
Yeah, Owen Young, most physical guy on this team, I'd say, on the defense. It seems like every game Kapaun plays, he just has a gigantic hit.
And the bobble snap there by Vrain. And the ball will go back to Kapaun on a recovered ball by Young, I believe. So, yes, Young did recover the ball in that play. And that'll set up Kapaun in perfect territory to essentially ice the game over.
Yeah, just a little miscue by Vrain there. Obviously in the wildcat position. Not too familiar with getting the snap, but...
As Huff, finding a hole to the left side, is taken down, but not before getting a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics. Great run by Huff there. And Carroll now elects to take timeouts. And unfortunately, I think it's a little too late for Carroll now, as they realize that they're down 3 scores. They didn't go for it on that punt.
Yeah, you are correct, Robbie. And, story tonight has, it's been this Kapaun first half, I feel like, was that main. What contributed mainly to this Kapaun success, just coming out of the doors, obviously scoring most of their points, 21 of their 28 points in the first quarter. So the start is huge for Kapaun.
As Rapp hands the ball off to Huff. Huff hurdling a man, sliding down to about the 2-yard line. And it'll be close to a first down, about a yard short.
Yeah, and just running out the clock for the Crusaders here. Probably put a few more points up on the board and, carry this game off with pride.
As flag on the play. And it looks like it'll be a false start on Kapaun, bringing this ball back just a little bit further. And that'll be a 2nd and 6 for this Crusader offense. And we'd like to take this time for our final time tonight, thanking our KMC journalism sponsors, Ernat's Arts and Bronze, Grasshopper Mowers, MTXE Kansas, and Frankenberry, Johnson, and Long. Thank you so much for sponsoring us, and we could not do it without you. As Rapp rolling out to his right, looking for his man Keller. Keller getting open, and the pass is broken up great play by that Carroll defender to break the pass up. That was Pius Graff on the breakup. Excuse me, Rain on the breakup there, playing on all sides of the ball right now. Excuse me, no, that was Pius. And the run up the middle will be no indication yet. And now they're signaling Crusader touchdown for Cole Rapp on the play. And great run by Rapp there, bring the score 34-7. And with this extra point is good. 35 Kapaun, Bishop Carroll 7. 3:36 left in this fourth quarter. And essentially, we can already predict the outcome of the game, as Kapaun will be victorious for 3 years in a row, something that would have been unheard of 4 years ago.
Yeah, this looks like the tradition has really switched since, especially Coach Schartz has came in. He's turned this program around. So if you didn't know, Kapaun was really just a laughingstock in football for a long, long time. During this 2010s, really, and obviously, change of tide here is Kapaun's seen a lot of success, and this year especially, Kapaun has really looked good, and they've looked like a team that can really go far. So if you're Kapaun, you can't celebrate this win too much though, because like we said, we were talking about earlier, St. James is going to be a really tough game. So.
Absolutely, as the kick will be fielded and brought out to the 27-yard line. And you're absolutely right, Sully. Kapaun can't celebrate too early now, as they got St. James on the road next weekend in Lenexa. As a reminder, folks, this is Kapaun's last home game of the season. However, there will be playoff games being played, as I believe we will be broadcasting them. So tune in for the KMC football playoffs, as me and Sully will be on the mic. And Corrigan out there, and he's rolling out to his right, and he's brought down by Collins. Great tackle by Collins there on that play.
Nothing clicking for this Carroll offense, Robbie, and I think it just kind of goes back. You saw at the beginning of the game, actually, it's kind of strange. Towards the end of that second half, I think Carroll was doing everything right. And then at halftime, we talked about adjustments. Kapaun made a lot. Carroll needed to make a lot, didn't make that many. As Carroll just hasn't been able to really capitalize on that momentum that was that they probably brought into the second half. Just really haven't been able to do much on the offensive side of the ball.
Absolutely right. And Sully, we both know from that amazing game 2 weeks ago, adjustments are everything. Kapaun against Northwest came out halftime, made all those adjustments. That was the pivotal moment in which the tide really turned for Kapaun.
Yeah, you're spot on, Robbie. And 28-0 that first quarter was at Northwest, and Northwest was beating Kapaun 28-0, and at the half it was a 28-14 game, and let me tell you, that was one of the games of all time.
Absolutely.
Kapaun really just able to do the unthinkable and come back from that deficit, and it really just shows anything's really possible in the game of football. You just have to make those adjustments that we were talking about earlier. which Carroll seems to not have made, and Kapaun has made a lot of adjustments as the season has gone on. Really seen improvement in all phases of the game, Robbie.
Absolutely. As Corrigan's pass to King connects. Porter on the coverage there. Excuse me, that's not Porter. But King with an amazing catch over the shoulder for a Schaefer Architecture first down. Schaefer Architecture, proud sponsor of Kansas High School Athletics. But with that play, Solly, I think we can confidently pack this as a W for Kapaun, continuing their streaks of no losses this season, keeping them the only 4A team undefeated.
You're right, Robbie. And like we were talking about earlier, this Kapaun team has a lot to look forward to this year. Going for that undefeated season right now, as St. James, like we said, is going to be a really tough opponent after that. They play Wichita Heights, both away games. St. James game is going to be in Lenexa, about 30 minutes outside of Kansas City, and Heights game is going to be at Wichita Heights. So,
as Corrigan's pass is dropped right through the hands of his intended target, Howie, and that's really just been Carroll's story tonight. It's just those missed opportunities to convert on those crucial downs.
Yeah, tough ball to get your hand on, because it was a little, don't think it was meant to be a back shoulder throw there, but still got to come up with that play if you're number 17.
As the ball up the middle will go for a first down. And about a minute left in this fourth quarter. And as this game winds down, we'd like to take just a little bit of time, take a special thank you to Coach Hebert. He really does so much for us. Thank you so much for all that you do, all the stress and hard work that you endure for us. It really is amazing to see how much love that you have for each of our students and how much you just want us to succeed in life. So thank you, Coach Hebert. Thank you, Millie Stewart, for doing all the engineer work, setting all this up. This really goes through those two, so special thanks to those two and all those people on camera. Me and Sully are a small part of this, so thank you to everyone and their contribution tonight. And a special thank you to Riverfront Stadium for allowing us to use their venue for this amazing game and this coverage. So thank you to everyone to making this possible tonight.
Well said, Robbie. Well said. Hey, Robbie. Small parts of this Kapaun broadcasting team, very small parts when it comes. We just speak into microphones, and Coach Hebert and Millie Stewart really the biggest parts of this broadcasting team, as they put so much time and effort into this. So thank you.
And Pork on the sack there, getting to Corrigan in less than a second. Oh my goodness, what a sack by Pork on that play. Oh, sorry. And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for our upcoming basketball season in the winter, as both commentators, Grayson Greer and Solomon Thomas, will get announced on senior night, as they have put so much effort and work into that. So stay tuned for our basketball season. And like we've been saying this whole broadcast, make sure that you guys pay attention to next Friday's score against St. James. That game will probably be the most important of the season, unless Kapaun goes to state this year. And 30 seconds left on this clock. As Corrigan takes a snap. Looking, firing, a Hail Mary prayer. And the pass is caught is Wineland on the touchdown reception there over the head of Owen Young. And score is 13-35 Kapaun. 25 seconds left in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, good play by Wineland. He's recovered really tightly there, but able to come up with a reception there. But, won't matter one bit because it's a three-score game.
As Porter blocks the extra point. Athletic play by Porter there.
Yeah, that I always wonder, Robbie, if that hurts because they're kicking the ball pretty hard here.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure it is. Maybe we'll get Porter for a after-game press conference. We'll ask him about it.
Yeah.
And folks, we want to thank you so much for a wonderful regular season. It truly has been wonderful to see all the success of our football team, all the other sports, Pommies, cheerleading, but especially our KMC broadcasting. So thank you so much for everyone tuning in and supporting us. It has truly been a wonderful regular season, and we will see you guys in the playoffs, so stay tuned for that. Coots lines up for kickoff here with James Guyer back deep.
Next season, you're going to see Guyer a lot more. So,
and the onside kick does not work, and it'll be Kapaun's ball, and they'll come out in victory formation and kneel the clock out.
Yep. Looking at Guyer, James Guyer. He's you're gonna see him a lot next year. I think, Robbie. We won't be here, but whoever commentates next year will be talking about James Guyer a lot. Fastest guy, one of the fastest guys on this team. So
absolutely. Shout out to his brother Andrew Guyer, former broadcaster. And with that kneel, that brings Kapaun Carroll to a final of 35-13. KMC keeps the streak alive, 3-0 in these final 3 years. And so we just kind of go through the key takeaways for Kapaun this game.
Yeah, Kapaun was really able to start off this game strong and keep the ball on the ground early on with a little mix of the passing game, which really propelled these drives, and they were able to see a lot of success when pairing both of the aspects of the offense together, and the defense was just really spot on this game, holding the Eagles to 13. Really, you could say 7 because the last touchdown was kind of just garbage time, but if you're Kapaun, you need to replicate what you did in that first quarter next week, because it's going to be a really tough game, like we said, Robbie, against St. James, which Kansas Sports Central rankings is ranked, I think, number 5 or 4. So they are going to be a really tough opponent, and I think unlike any team Kapaun has really seen this year with their very wide-ranged offensive play calling, and really, they got some really good guys on their team. At the Kansas City area, having a lot more variety. And if you're Kapaun, you just need to stick to your combine the pass and run game. So, good job to the Crusaders, and great win tonight.
Absolutely. We want to thank you folks so much for viewing, and we will see you guys in the playoffs. Have a wonderful night, folks.
Shall insert for hosting this game tonight to all of us from both sides of town to be here to cheer on your team. Have a safe trip home. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.